I know I just streamed like not too long ago, but then this is like the other series, so I'm just gonna do this like real quick since there are only 2 people who are submitting this. Okay, so long story short, I actually went to play badminton as a form of rehabilitation, according to my brother, who called me weak for being injured, and I went to play with my other hand because the right hand is fucked, which is what happened on the earlier stream. I realized that it was not what I thought it was. So it's not the injury that hurts, it's the rheumatism that actually really hurts me. So I had hot water, like a hot shower, it helped, and then now it's just not really good. So anyways, let me just really finish this quickly. Alright, so yesterday was the 11th. Yes, it was the 11th, and it's Tickle monster versus Trickle monster. So Tickle versus Trickle monster, 2 people tried. Venus is sick, so he's exempted for a while until he recovers. Yeah, anyways, people are falling sick left and right. It's like COVID all over again, except it's the influenza. So please take care, guys. Right, wear mask, even though some countries may not mandatorily like require it. If you value your health and you know you have shit immune, wear mask, because the influenza is going around and you will catch it sooner or later, like for real. Without further ado, okay, the 2 people are the 2 most consistent people who has updated daily so far. Dame Butterfly as well as Juby. And Juby even she came in with them without I didn't have time. They both came in before I managed to put like the new prompt here. So any case, let's just get to the Tickle versus Trickle monster. Okay, Droopy, and no, not Droopy. Dame Butterfly was like tap tap tap. Usually there's some sort of punctuation there, not just the word itself, so maybe that one needs to be looked into. So the sudden dripping sound broke the night silence. So tap tap is not quite dripping sounds don't go tap tap. Do you go tap tap? I'm not too sure, but pretty sure tap tap is not a dripping sound. Like the SFX is wrong. You need to sound like the sound words. You probably need to go and find the sound words dictionary. I can't remember what the actual term was that. Like what, omniphonetics or something? Sound words. What are these? Onomatopoeia, something like that. Okay, this thingy is like a whole list of it. I mean, you can definitely like create your own, but these are like the actual things. So dripping sounds don't go tap tap, I think. They don't dripping sounds. So like you can just check dripping sounds words. Drip, drop, plop, pit, pet. No tap. I don't think it's tap. Tap doesn't come in. So they have a lot of these things like splish, splash, sploosh, plop, or yeah. Anyways, tap is not one of them. Just saying. So sound of dripping broke the night silence. Okay, this thing again, as if the sudden dripping sound. How do I? You should place it the other way. The silence was broken by sound of sudden dripping, something like that. It's active. Phrase it actively, like opposite, like switch it around. This is passive. So the sound broke the night silence. The night silence was broken by the sound. I think the night silence was broken by the sound is better than the dripping sound broke the night silence. Yeah, based on chronology, it's silent first, and then it was broken by the tick 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 sound, or the tap 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 sound, or the drip 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 sound. Okay, anyways, small thing. Pulling the comforter closer under her chin, Phoebe or Phoebe kept her eyes screwed tightly shut, silently willing the terrible sound and its owner away. If she opened her eyes and acknowledged it, she would be finished. When the sound vanished, the magician let out a sigh of relief. The relief was short-lived when something wet slapped her face. The magician popped one eye open to see the fluffy rain cloud-esque monster staring at her. The cuteness was too much for even the well-seasoned magician such as herself to handle. Well, okay, this part here, such as herself to handle, is wordy, it's mouthful, it's redundancy. Remove something here. And then the fact that it is a magician out of nowhere came like out of a left side that I didn't see, so you can actually ease it in a little better than this. And in this part here, we have no idea. Screwed her Aisha, wheeling the sound away. If you are trying to paint a picture of horror, this is not it. It has to really build up from the suspense of the sound itself. There is no background to this, so it can be anything really. It's not very well put together yet. If not for the Trickle monster being adorable, Phoebe would have already snuffed it out with her hairdryer on high heat. Phoebe's expression turned sour the moment she looked down at her soaking wet limited edition zombie sleepers. So while the zombie sleepers thing is welcome, snuff it out with a hairdryer is also welcome. It's chucked in somewhere in the middle of between this dripping sound of supposed terror instead of annoyance, because this is supposed to be terror, right? And then it suddenly becomes cute, and then it says that she already knew that it was going to be cute and she would have killed it if it wasn't cute. They kind of sounds confused. And then the next paragraph. Hera, I told you to close the bathroom door when you finish. Trickle shrunk back from the shouting. Its eyes glistened with unshed tears as it looked at the female magician sitting in bed. Oh god, the room would soak if it burst. Okay, this part here is okay. But this part here was not. Because like, who, what and where, like I need a sequence. The world building was not very smooth here. As Phoebe tried to soothe the monster, a lifeless, sleepy apology floated through the wall. Her personal assistant needed to be tossed into a dryer until his brain sorted itself. While the characterization and the deep POV here is good, it really just doesn't gel. Like, read this whole thing again and see if it gels. It does not. They needed a Tickle monster for the children's party. That was a specific request of Harold. Okay, please put it the other way around. She specifically requested Harold or something like that. It's a passive gain. Somehow though, the personal assistant not only managed to botch the spell by misreading Trickle as Tickle, but he destroyed the spell book trying to fix it. Now they will start with a dripping monster for the foreseeable future. I'm not sure if you meant to order the Tickle monster first or get the Trickle monster first, but these kind of not make sense to me as well. It's confusing with what you have gotten up here. Phoebe kept petting the monster to stop explosive drips. You don't have explosive drips. Drips are little things, so explosive drips, not quite. Besides, drip is an act of water falling from a high place due to gravity. From flying everywhere, until they could afford a new spellbook, they have to make do with this drippy creature. Drippy creature is fine. Drips, explosive drips, no. You have to find a different word for this because the visual impact of this doesn't make sense. Watching her carpet getting soaked. Watching her carpet getting soaked. Something weird. Okay, a new idea crossed her, making her smirk. Again, please rewrite in a more easy to follow voice. If they couldn't scare kids, what about adults? Surely rich people would pay well to avoid having their expensive carpets and hardwood floors ruined. Like, this portion is promising of the plot, but the delivery in here again requires a lot of work. Don't know if you are overthinking again, because it seems to be a constant problem of you overthinking, rewriting, then redrafting, and like missing the forest to catch the tree, something like that. You see the tree and miss the forest. This is what's happening. So I just gave it a cookie because I see Trickle and I see Tickle, even though I don't know what you're trying to mean over here, this part. But it qualifies. There are a lot to work with. Let's see Droopy. Droopy brought back Brendan in this prompt. Eek eek. Okay, Brendan just kept on scrubbing the countertop. Brows frowned at the greyish stain. He had been trying to get rid of it for a few minutes now, but the industrial grade cleaner didn't stand a chance. He then sighed and looked up to glare at the ceiling. Drip, there it went again. Good. Okay, so in here, compared to above, although they both used the sound words to start off with, which is okay, there is like a flow to this. So you can see from the zooming in and out of the whatever the character is doing and where is he doing, where he is and stuff like that. So it did not give away. For example, up here, okay, pulling the comforter would give me a hint that she's in the bedroom, and then in Droopy's countertop stain, gray stain, and industrial grade cleaner. So we're assuming that he's cleaning somewhere something, with countertops likely to be a kitchen. Okay, so both of them have similar things, except Droopy manages to string it in a sequence that is smoother and actually flows through. So there is this link going down. Oh wait, I forgot to remove my keyboard. Hold on. Keyboard. Remove the keyboard so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. Right. So over here, it's a better flow whereby first there's a sound, and then there's also a sound, but the sound leads to a person, the person leads to a place, and the place leads to an expression on the person. That's a zoom in at what he's doing, a zoom out and a zoom in, all in one sentence over here. Can you see this part? This is what I mean by good flow. In just this one sentence, you can tell the person, what he's doing, the place, his focus, and his reaction. 5 things, 1 sentence. This is good pacing. This is good flow. This is how you keep things going in like one smooth direction. And then you give people a little bit more information instead of this. Okay, you can see pulling comforter under her chin, kept her eyes shut tightly. So down here, what do we know? We only know that she's in her bedroom, probably in bed, and screwing her eyes tightly means we can only infer that she's probably scared. So this is just it. Compared to this, that has a little bit more information here. So I'll prefer Droopy's style of leading the horse to the water. Okay, and then next paragraph in here. Do you drink seawater? Seaward water, sorry. Brendan desperately sprayed the cleaner on the countertop, hoping that he would be done cleaning before 3 a.m. struck. Another person came from the kitchen and lunged at him, as if trying to wrestle with him, putting him in a half Nelson hold. Haha, you wanna escape the Tickle monster, so good. An introduction of the other monster in the prompt, so I see the Tickle monster and I can assume that the one dripping from the ceiling is the Trickle monster. And he's actually talking to like Trickle monster. Don't know why he's doing it, but sure. Okay, that's the mystery behind. Really? How are you gonna tickle me? You have a third hand? So this was the plot twist. Like he was attacked and trying to wrestle with him. So you would assume that it's a chokehold, but then they said half Nelson hold. So half Nelson is this. Can you see that? It's like a requirement to use hands in here. Except putting him in a half Nelson hole, and he asked, how are you gonna tickle me? You have a third hand, which makes me wonder, what is he using to put Brendan in this half Nelson hole? I have no idea. I like literally have no idea. Like, is he using his legs? Is he using his body? Or is he just being an annoyance all over? So he asked, you have a third hand, which makes me think that maybe all the hands are like tied up from there, which is very interesting. That's why I like Droopy's work. It's very well structured, very well thought out, and has a flavor that I enjoy. Just that sometimes she has the tendency to be cautious, I guess, to write the right thing. I actually like to see her get out to explore a little bit more. This is like the beauty of it. Not perfect, but good, and I love it. So didn't struggle from the hole. He was just wary of dropping the cleaner spray on the floor with his stupid co-worker's arms under his stupid co-worker. So his co-worker is like, what, the Tickle monster? I don't know. There was no way he could continue cleaning. If he could flip this guy and break a bone, maybe the management wouldn't think of putting another problem worker on the graveyard shift with him. So apparently the Tickle monster is a person, and this person has like a... Yeah, this person has... Okay, either that or maybe I'm misinterpreting something whereby he uses 2 hands to put him in a half Nelson hole, and then he wanted to tickle him but he was too stupid because you need 2 hands for a hole and then you don't have a third hand for tickling. Something like that, I'm not too sure. It's just that when he heard something shift from the ceiling, the droplet didn't land on the same spot, seemingly following Brendan. Okay, seemingly following here can be a little bit improved. Pace and wordfulness, I guess. Choice of words. Following Brendan as his co-worker pulled him back, it continued until someone entered the store when the clock struck 3. So here, before 3 a.m. struck, in case you were wondering, and then now it's again over here, so 3 o'clock. This is good foreshadowing. Not very obvious, but obvious enough. It was subtle enough. But for the attentive readers, you'd see, oh, like, okay, it makes sense, and then you follow through. So this is a good technique. new like rookie writers, please take note. This is called foreshadowing. You want to include these in your writing. Good writing. Okay, Brendan quickly broke off from the hole and jogged to the counter, but he slipped on the droplets on the floor. Bang! The poor man even winced. The co-worker laughed at him, along with another. So you were guessing like, along with who other? Brendan mockingly echoed their laugh, taking the long black clawed hand offered to help him up. So now this here is an introduction as well as subtle foreshadowing, like a very short term foreshadowing compared to the 3 a.m. on the above. So this is probably a longer term foreshadowing. This is a shorter term foreshadowing. So you're wondering who this hand belongs to, right? The clerk had to rub his head on the apron before fixing his head to face the customer. So you're going to assume that this long black clawed hand is from the customer. Hello, right on time. I reheated the remaining quarter pounder for you. Do you want that hot cola? You seem to have company tonight. The customer laughed. His eyes stuck to the ceiling. Again, another foreshadowing and like the mystery to what is in the ceiling, and that thing is dripping. So if you didn't know the title of this prompt, you might be like wondering what the hell is going on. And then yeah, but can you get rid of him? Brendan made the order, but he chose another spot to serve it. The one in the back, Trickle monster, can stay. Tickle, not so much. So you can see here, this is built up really well. Droopy is a skillful writer, but she's underappreciated in like the web novel and mainstream market, which is why I'm very happy that she took up the challenge to go for Fright month. I think if anybody over here has like the biggest chance of winning Discord Nitro from me this month from this Fright month submission challenge, it would be her, because I really enjoy the kind of content that she puts out through when she is not overthinking and when she is not trying to play it safe. These kind of things are like really great. I like to see more of it. A little bit crazy, a little bit there. And then the skills that you can see when she builds up the horror, or when she builds up the dark humor, or the cliche turnovers to do a plot twist that is not so, common. Like, you definitely can see certain kind of plot twists coming up here, and she serves it well, on point. That's what I really like about it. So compare Dame, Butterfly, and Droopy. Yeah, Droopy would definitely get like more cookies from me, but nobody's voting from my server because my server pretty much did. So yeah, they both get one cookie. Nobody gets a heart because it's still predictable. Like, it's good, but it's not impressive enough to like send chills down my spine. Not there yet, but it's good. Okay, it is good. Not just qualified, it's good. So 1 each. Let me just edit in 9. Okay, that's today's what, 10. Oh my god, did I not do 10? 10 today. Is it 10 or is it 11? No, I did not do 10. Did I not do 10? Why did I not do 10? Have I not done 10? Yes, I did 10. Yes, I did 10. Oh my god, I forgot to change this. Oh no, it's 11. Silly me. Okay, let me just change the stream title. It's 11. I didn't do 10. Okay, I remember I did Godzilla's. I remember I did Luxury Grave as well. I did not do 10. Ugh. Okay, let me just do it now. Gosh, I'm like fucking up all over. Thanks, injury. Okay, so let me just check through real quick on the other tab. Okay, let me see. 10. Luxury Grave. How much did Dame Butterfly get? 1 cookie. Droopy, 2 cookies. Sakushi, 2. So 10. Dame, 1 cookie. And Droopy, 2 cookies. Sakushi, 2 cookies. So that's like 23, 24, 25. Okay, my math is fantastic. And then today we only have 2 participants, so I'm just gonna copy this, paste this, and I need to... Ow, my hand. Alright, so let's see. 1 each, so Dame and Droopy. Okay, there we go. Right, hopefully I don't like fuck up any more of the score tally counts, not my greatest. But now that I actually completed this Trickle versus Tickle monster thing, I'm just gonna remove it. And then today is actually zombie pickles. So zombie pickles. Free interpretation has to have zombie inside, have to have pickles inside. I don't care how you do it. It can be a human pickled zombie. It can be a zombie a pickle becoming a zombie. It doesn't matter as long as it's zombie pickles, and it has to be a new menu item. Okay. And tomorrow is probably every writer's nightmare. Caffeine shortage, pandemic. Oh wow. You know how many people in the world actually function on caffeine itself? Not just coffee, but coffee is like by far the most popular. Not just coffee, but also tea, like any kind of caffeine in there. Imagine if you had a worldwide shortage of that shit. Wow, I can tell you it's gonna be worse than, what do you call that? Worse than COVID, because yeah, even people like me will go insane, and that's very, yeah, it's like an addiction, you know. It's like a legal addiction, and if you take this addiction away from people who have nowhere else to direct their frustrations to, they would probably likely resort to murder. I'm not too sure. I know I would resort to unscrupulous means to get my caffeine fix. So yeah, I may have a higher body count than most people if caffeine shortage is real, and I am poor. So it doesn't really matter how I get it. I need my fix and I need it now. So that is going to be for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be interesting. I want to see how people would react to a caffeine shortage situation. So if it's a pandemic and that you are short of caffeine, and yeah, let's just see how many people remain sane. So that's all for today. It is a very short stream, right? Right? Yeah, I'm so glad. Or not, it's like 20 minutes. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna end this here now. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully I remember. I probably should like do it first thing in the morning, even though everything is hurting. And I might just get back to writing right now. Thanks, bye bye.